Okay, perfect. I hope that everybody is ready for what's about to happen tonight. Um, Tonight's going to be awesome. We're going to have a huge show. This is brought on by Matt
BBB.
Frost, who's up there in the corner, way over there. This is going to be a fun one. I appreciate letting us be a part of this. This is going to be so awesome. Guys, if you don't know, my name is Mike Narks. I host a 2 weekly drag and drive um, specific live streams to talk about all the drag and drive community. Eric is my co-host who's over here. He'll be running the comments and everything like that tonight. So make your comments in the chat, jump in there, ask questions. We're going to answer all that stuff. And then I'll let these guys above me, starting with Chad over there, introduce themselves and kind of throw out their channels and all that stuff that you can watch them as well.
That's me, this guy.
Yeah.
Chad Reynolds, bangshift.com. Obviously, we do all the live streams for Rocky Mountain Race Week and Race Week, aka 2.0. Been a part of the Rocky Mountain Race Week family since the beginning. Adam Dorey and Matt Frost and I have become great friends, racing together and having a good time all across the country. So to all of the bang shifters out there and all of my buddies, thank you for tuning in. This is going to be big news tonight.
I'm Adam Dorey. My show is called That's Cool Drink. It's become a podcast. It is super cool, drag and drive specific, and currently mostly Rocky Mountain Race Week specific folks. For the first, I don't even know, 100 episodes, I think is kind of what I'm going for. I also run the RMRW page on Facebook. And and I announced for a few things, including, and the very first thing, my number one priority always, Rocky Mountain Race Week.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm Matt Frost. I'm the promoter for Rocky Mountain Race Week. I'm also your tour guide.
That's awesome. Well, the reason everybody is gathered here today is because you've heard there's a huge announcement, big announcement, the most hugest news in drag and drive, I think, probably in a long, long time, maybe since like 2014 when Matt posted that he was going to do one of these. So kind of exciting. I'm going to give Matt the floor. Kind of tell us a little bit of maybe history. I think people have probably heard it on Adam's podcast a few times about kind of the history of this, but tell us where Rocky Mountain Race Week started.
And we did Drag Week in 2014, and it's kind of crazy how it kind of changed dynamics of how that started. Originally, it was just didn't really get the vibe that I originally was planning on. That I thought when I went to Drag Week, and no disrespect to them, or I'm not talking bad about it, but it just changed, especially for the class I was in. It went from basically an all-star.
Oh, he's getting a phone call.
Oh no!
Oh, there he is. He's in the middle of nowhere. He's got,
to an all-steel style door car is where we started out with, to where it kind of went into the pro mods and everything else, and it happened right when we kind of went into doing it. And I got the idea of, we need to do something closer to home and play in our own sandbox, and talk to a bunch of guys on the way back from 2014 and hit the ground running. And as it started, I think we ended up with 60 cars originally, and we started at Bandimere Speedway, which is super cool, to be able to start there first. And so, yeah, about 60 cars, I guess. And it was kind of weird because it ended up changing from just an idea to put this together to completely into a complete family style event. And it's just grown every year. It's grown. It took a couple years to get it to the momentum. I mean, it grew every year, but as far as like my side of it, being able to keep it going, it was rough for the first few years. I mean, it was definitely a negative on, on my wallet, but I have people like Kyle and, a lot of guys behind me calling and saying, man, you can't quit. This is going to be big. You just got to keep pushing harder and keep figuring out a way to make it work. And so we kind of did. And, we had some big names in the beginning that helped us get started with it, like Doug Klein and Larry Larson. They were there all the time for the first couple of years, and that kind of drew some other people into it. And it just kind of sparked off from there, and it's got bigger every year.
Yeah. So earlier today, I was putting together like the numbers of racers total over the years, right? And
I
was seeing all those numbers go up. Like I think the first one was like 49 total racers finished, and then this last one's like 286. I mean, it's just crazy to see that difference and just the absolute explosion in growth. And from 2015 to 2019, there was only Rocky Mountain Race Week. That was it, And then 2020, I mean, that really, like, from what Eric and I see, there's just insane growth since 2020. And I think that probably comes from, I mean, obviously from Matt doing 2 in 1 year, taking over for, because Drag Week canceled that year. Everybody else canceled that year, and Matt did too. So
yeah,
it's
and
awesome
that
to
was
see the growth.
That was our first live stream, obviously in the middle of COVID, and
Yep.
And Chad jumped in a ton in that one as well. He said, "You know what? I got dudes sitting at home making $0. So what
Right.
I'll do is I'll do this for like cost. Like I
Yeah.
won't make anything. Like I'll put my dudes to work if you guys want to put on a live stream." And so the Bang Shift / Race Week like meld was born, and then it came down to, okay, that's great, awesome. Chad can run all of the cameras and whatnot, but like we need an announcer,
Right.
And I was like, okay, like let's go.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, that really catapulted the event a ton, because all of a sudden we were on a stage, so people could see us.
I also think that part of it was that, Hot Rod, I understand big corporate, they were like, we can't do this. We can't have a thing. People might die, whatever. Right. And Matt's like, we're good. And it put pressure on those guys to come back. Cause I got to tell you, I think that there were quite a few people in the world that thought that Drag Week would never come back again. I was the voice of hot rod events for a very long time. And I can tell you that, like, Power Tour is one of their only money making things, so I'm sure that there were some bean counters going, if we didn't do this again, it would be okay. And so I think that Matt stepping up put pressure on them, and they're like, crap,
I mean, that was just American. I think it was the American thing to do. I mean, everybody was running the wrong direction, and we needed, I mean, I know it's just a small piece for us, but people needed that. Like, you need to get out and show that you're not going to let something like this just destroy our lives. And that's exactly where it was at. It was destroying things. And, now that we look back and see what was going on with the whole deal, how much of it kind of was a bunch of crap anyways, it's just, it was the right, for me, it was the patriotic thing for us to do, to go do that. And,
totally.
And when there was a lot of that talk. And I mean, I'm not saying that we ever do everything 100% right. We always learn from our mistakes, and we kind of just, we wing it. But I don't know how many conversations and rumors there was that they were going to be done, and that was going to be over, and then that was going to be the end of it. Not that we wanted that, because I don't want to see any of this stuff die. We need every bit of it. So when we realized that they were going to continue to keep moving on, I mean, that was positive. And it never was, when I put that on, that was never to put a bad light over them or to take away from their stage. We just wanted to give people a place to go run and have fun.
No, hell yeah. And we made it almost, we kind of were calling it the 2014 like Drag Week like tribute race, because it was all the same tracks. We didn't do exactly the same routes because we had better routes, in my opinion.
Right.
But it was the Drag Week replacement, and Matt let dudes that had signed up for Drag Week have the 24 hours head start. It was like the full on olive branch, and then like 35 Drag Week dudes showed up. So we did Race Week on Drag Week stomping grounds, which, I mean, who cares, dude? We're in. And the 35 of those dudes that showed up keep showing up. I'm just saying.
Yes.
Sure. And it was hard. The whole deal was, I mean, the whole thing of starting this and doing what we did, I mean, let's be honest, like, we were going against the grain. Like, there was a lot of that side of things that were hating us because we did what we did. And it was tough. Like, if you look at things now, when you go out there and you put your name out there and you say you're going to do a drag and drive, that people are going to come to you with open arms. That was not the case for us. Like, we had to fight tooth and nail to do what we did, because it just wasn't something that anybody was doing. And that was the thing, that had been around for so long that the guys were so stuck in that mindset of that could only be the only thing that's out there. So I'm pretty sure there's still probably some of them that still hate me, and I guess that's just whatever it is, what it is. So
Yeah, and I know we're not here to pat each other on the back or what have you, but Matt deserves a lot of kudos because he and I have, and I know he and Adam and the three of us have had a lot of
hell yeah.
Oh yeah, we've had a lot of heart-to-heart discussions over the years as people, really tried to keep him from doing some of this stuff and tried to beat him down on it. And there've been a couple of times where Adam and I had to talk him off the ledge. But if he had not put as much time and effort into it, him and June, this wouldn't be what it is. And so it's awesome. It's great, and he deserves some kudos.
The community as a whole wouldn't be what it is.
Yes.
There wouldn't be 40 freaking drag and drive events if someone didn't stick their neck out in 2020 and go, what? We're racing our shit and we're doing it now.
I mean, listen, I've said it a whole bunch. I wouldn't be sitting right here if Race Week 2020 had not happened. Stone Cipher had talked to me a whole lot about doing it over the years. I went to 2014 at Tulsa, all that kind of stuff, but had never made the time, right? Well, 2020 came up, happened, 2020 Race Week. And I mean, dude, look, I quit my job in July to do this full time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Full time, Chad's full time. Like everybody is looking towards it.
Yeah, I quit.
Yeah, I mean, you guys
is quit the new word for fired? I don't know. Because I'm going to use that one from here on out now.
That's it. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy though that we went all from racers? We all were racers and did these events, and now we're all too busy. We can't even freaking take our cars out to go do this stuff anymore. Like, dude, we sacrificed our own racing program for drag and drive.
Even after literally Matt and I had this whole plan together for where we were going to do drag week this year. And I'm bringing back the car I did because I've been doing drag week since 2005, very first year I was in. And so I was bringing the same car back. And then Matt goes, sorry, we're
on the same
week. I'm like, oh, you suck.
It sucks.
I mean, although you're probably saving me some money, but whatever. Yeah. Oh God.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I know why everybody's here. We're here to get to this announcement, but I want to go over a few things before we do that. Okay. I want to talk about historical Rocky Mountain Race Week stuff because it's a big deal, right? The reason this announcement
won the first 13-0 class.
I know who that is.
Are they on the screen?
Yeah, I was going to say, that weirdo right there. That weirdo right there.
And also, this dude got third in Unlimited once with a 12-second car.
That is true.
He earned that.
That is true.
Sorry to interrupt.
Don't hate the player, hate the game, big boy. That's why exactly Matt put a rule. Oh my God. Matt put a rule in place because of me. And I love that, but I had totally forgotten. So that makes 7 rules in 5 sanctioning bodies for this guy right here. I'm as proud of that as every win I've ever had, dude, because I am a real racer. So let me tell you, that's greatness.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Well, 13 events over the years. I mean, the whole reason that this event in 2025 is happening is because everybody in the community is awesome. More than 2,600 racers have raced. Thought that was, I'm going to go through and have a better layout of unique racers, but we got to be at least 1,800 unique racers within that. I would think so. Wow. 1,800 unique people. Yeah. More than 65 race days. Okay. Think about that as you go through the years.
Feels like 165 sometimes.
Right? Yeah. This is what blew my mind. More than 18,000 miles driven by cool hot rods because of Rocky Mountain Race Week.
That's awesome.
Free street drives, baby.
Hey, there's one thing you should have figured out what the average temperature was. That would have been a good one.
About 374.
Yeah, 11,008 degrees.
That's awesome.
Celsius. Yeah, I don't know.
Celsius.
Yeah.
It's you guys have some heat to deal with. I think somebody sent a photo one time of a heat gun or temperature gun in the car, and it was 140 on the floor of the car. So yeah, pretty important stuff. So all right, well, now that we got all that stuff out of the way, let's talk about because we're about 15 minutes in. Let's talk about this big announcement.
Okay.
But
So we're just
but
going to let it
first-
out?
No,
Yeah.
I think we got to build up for just a second because we need
Sure.
the people that are watching right now.
Oh, I
to
was ready
hear
for
this
full
real
Monty
quick.
because I haven't even
Hit
heard
the share
all
button.
of this.
Yeah.
We're like,
Let
we're
me
like-
let me give you a little warm up on this deal. So I was standing in a hotel parking lot in Anaheim, California, when Matt calls me, and this is a common theme Adam's going to laugh at. Matt calls me and goes, "I got a dumb idea," and I'm like, "I'm in." Because that's what I tell my friends when they call me and say they have dumb ideas. And he's like, no, hear me out. And I'm like, no, I'm in. Where do I go? And then he proceeds to tell me a thing that makes me literally rub some of the hair off of my head and go, okay, I'm going to need to bring in some more people. We're going to need to do some things.
Yeah.
And are you sure about this? And did June threaten to lose you or to leave you when you said this? And yeah, it's
She actually
for
didn't act
real.
like it was as crazy as idea as it is. So
Yeah.
she was okay with it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is going to be pretty intense. So, Matt, I'm going to put you full screen, and why don't you kind of hint at a few things, and then let's lay this thing out.
Awesome.
Do it to it.
So the hints are you're going to have two announcers. It's going to be Adam Dorey and Chad Reynolds. So that's kind of a little bit of what's going on. Some payouts are going to be, we're going to have some mega payouts, and it's going to be the biggest, in my opinion, and maybe we'll see this change obviously once we kick this off, but be the biggest drag and drive in the history of drag and drive.
Yeah, the most hugest, biggest, largest.
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean, dare we say the World Series?
the World Series of drag and drive.
Dude, why not? Why not?
That could pretty much be the way that's worded. Yeah, I think that's probably correct. Guys, hit the share button right now. Listen to me.
Yeah,
Hit the
we're
share
almost
button
at
right now.
300 people watching across 11 channels. So
Yeah.
Nice.
All right.
Hey, that's one half of the racers.
Yeah,
Where's the other
exactly.
300?
Exactly. There, people,
Yeah.
that's veteran registration right there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. All right, dude. Tell us what's
Okay.
happening in 2025.
So what we're doing is we've kind of set this up in a way that this works really well because you have disciplined racers that come back every year for Rocky Mountain Race Week and Race Week. So what this is going to do is instead of putting everybody in the same pot, what I've come up with is we will basically do a tech day, let's say Friday's your tech day, and we'll do tech, and then we'll do a test day, licensing and all that stuff for Race Week and Rocky Mountain Race Week. Now you're thinking, how are we going to do this? That's all those cars. That's over close to 700 cars plus road weekers, whatever. How are you going to put this together? Well, we're going to do an A group and a B group. And we'll say A group's going to be race weekers and B group is going to be Rocky Mountain Race weekers. And I'm going to set it up to where A group starts from, and it may not be in that order. It could be the opposite of each other, but you're going to have everybody that races race week will start from 7 in the morning and run until 3 o'clock at night or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And then B group is going to go from 3 o'clock in the afternoon until 11 at night. So we're going to keep everybody separate in that aspect. Everybody's going to have their own little area that they still run in the normal way that they run, but you guys are separate, but y'all are in the same place at the same time. Now, with that being said, that will be through your average. So you'll do your average will be separated like that. Then we'll have a day in between because to keep you guys captivated and to keep you from running off. We'll do just what would normally be our drive day. Will just be a day for vendors to be set up, for us to do our awards, probably do our average awards and all that stuff, and all of our payouts for that or whatever, and just have a party and feed everybody and kind of hang out and have a stage to talk and just everybody to kind of hang out because nobody ever actually gets to hang out and visit. And then the big part of this is the final day, everybody is going to come together for the shootout. And what the
One
shootout is, what's going to happen with that is it's going to be massive. Like we're talking double payouts. It's going to be huge. And I'll go over the payouts once we kind of visit about this a little bit more. But some of that stuff, what I kind of looked at, and here's the kicker. Okay, I put my money where my mouth is when it comes to some of this stuff. You know, we always talk about that we don't discriminate against the slower cars. So the bracket race, I'm not just adding the 2 pots from A and B for that. I'm going to do a $5,000 payout for the bracket race.
And the bracket race is going to be psycho, you guys. We're talking 700 cars. We're going to take out 64.
Yes.
So we're going to have a 440 car bracket race.
Yes.
This is going to be psycho.
It'll going to be huge. And we're going to live stream every single car going down the racetrack all day, every day, which means that we are going to have 2 full live streaming crews that are, I literally have been having conversations with all the staff. This is 2025, and I am already planning this out. So we are going to show you every single bit of it. It's going to be epic. And the numbers of cars is insane.
Yeah.
But Matt is giving away money like he's made of it.
Yeah. Well, and I think like I said, I think the way that this works is because we already have so many disciplined people that you guys already know how all this works. And it's going to be up to Chad and Adam to decide how they want to do this. If each one of them wants to take a full day of announcing, or if one wants to do half the day and the other one wants to do the other half of the day and then switch it up. Like there's so many dynamics that we can do with that'll make that fun.
And the only way this happens is if you have 2 dudes like this, like caliber dudes like this, because Chad and I you can count on one hand of dudes that can do this for a day.
Right.
So you have 2 in the house. Like, you're welcome. Congratulations.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because the truth of the matter is, like, I didn't know when I first started announcing drag races, you know, now, Jesus, like 18, 19 years ago. I didn't know that you went to a race and they had like multiple announcers. So you had somebody to like take over for you. When I started doing NHRA Unleashed, like I announced literally from 6 a.m. to 2 a.m. And I thought that's what everybody did. So I didn't know until way later on. They're like, oh no, so-and-so will take, handle it so you can go eat it. I'm like, what? But this is like our deal and this matters to us and the people doing this matter. I hope that everybody that's hearing this announcement understands how special this is going to be a part of it. And I commend you, Matt, for thinking of it. So keep going. I mean, what are the other deals? What's the other part?
We've thought about it. I thought about doing it different ways where you could start one group at one other track. But you know what? For me, I don't like that because I don't get to be involved everywhere. This way I can be involved because I can leave a couple hours early in the evening and still make it to the other track and still see everybody. And that's important to us, right? So, and part of that is to, I don't want anybody to fret about it. Like, Ron's going to get us another guy to help with the lanes so that when we can split that up. Me and June will be there for the most part, but we have people that have been working with us long enough that we can get them to stay for a little while in the evening while we travel on to the next track to get started. So as long as everybody does what they normally do, this is going to be, I hate the word epic, but it's going to be epic. Like the way this is going to lay out. And as long as everybody has an open mind and understands that this is huge. So there's going to be a little bit of stuff that's not your normal deal, but we can get through it and it's going to be awesome. Like it's just going to be, in my opinion, it is going to be so fun to see both sides clash together into this, everybody be in there. And I know that there's going to be a lot of questions on some of this stuff. I know like one of the questions that people are going to bring up is, hey, I double enter classes. So what happens when we go back next year, the following year? How do I do that? We'll work it out. Like we'll figure that stuff out. If we've got to, push inflate our car count for 1 year to get us back to where we were at, then we'll do those things to make this work. But I'm asking all of you. Go ahead. So
everybody's asking the question that I asked you, the very first question, can I double enter? Everybody in the comments is asking.
I don't think that's going to be able to work. I just don't think. I mean, we may do something. Okay, here, I'll tell you this. We always change and we always have things to think about. We might do a deal where you can actually, we'll have a space over here and we'll do like a lottery and we'll take so many cars into that and then maybe you can double enter. I mean, that's going to be brutal, guys. I mean, you're talking,
it's going to be insane.
And there's going to be rules to doing that. That's not going to be just do a one hit here and go at each of those. I may make you run 2 passes at both of them. And you might have to do one earlier in the day and later, in each section, so that you actually have to stay with that. If we're going to do that and make that happen, I'm going to make you work for it.
And I'll tell you,
if you did double entries, in my opinion, you have to then make your runs in both events.
in
like
both sessions,
100%.
right?
Yes.
And 2 and 2. Like
yes,
I mean,
and I think that is absolutely make a minimum number of runs. I think that would be absolutely epic. But I think guys like Vince are going to do that thing.
Vince will
I
do
think
that.
if you do it
But
as a lottery, everybody that wants to do that puts their name in the hat, and you
Right.
draw 25 or 40 or whatever that can do it. That would be rad.
Right.
Don't you think, Adam?
Oh no, I agree. And what this is going to do is that a lot of people aren't going to want to double up. I mean, people aren't all idiots like Vince Rui.
Yes.
But we do have those 25 that are probably into that. But
I would do it if I was racing. I would do it.
The 30 or so dudes that feel that like they lost out on entry for this year, there's going to be an availability for you next year. It's going to be the baddest one that exists. So, hello, guys, pay attention. 2025 is your year.
And this is, and I don't ask a lot of everybody. I usually just run the race. We don't ask a lot of people. This is my ask. I mean, this is going to be a huge deal. So, one, I'm probably going to have to do you have a whole year to plan for this. We're probably going to have to bump up the entry fee to $500 just for this one. We'll go back where we're at, but to make this work. 2,
whatever.
I need every sponsor that ever has been part of this, and it's all of you guys have always helped us, and there's no way we could have got where we're at without it. I need to have you guys understand that there's if you can put in a little bit more, if you can afford to do so, awesome. If you can show up with your vendor booth, awesome, because I really want to have a ton of vendors at this. I want it to be just a huge deal that way. So anybody that can help with the cost of that, and then my biggest ask is, we're going to have obviously a ton of shirts and we're going to try to do a couple different things with it being the 10th anniversary. Buy your shirts and get spectators, get everybody that you possibly can. If you have ever raced this, show up to these tracks and pack these tracks, because this is huge for you guys, but I need it to be huge for me too. Like, we need to make this the biggest thing that we've ever done, and that way it just helps us grow as we go forward.
Totally. And I talked to Matt as well. There's going to be a whole bunch more merch available on the website as well. So tons and tons of that coming up. So pay attention to the website, and like he's saying, pass the word, because it's going to be amazing. But it takes money to be amazing. It really does.
Yeah.
I mean, none of this crap happens for free. I promise you that. And I mean, is now a good time to ask for a raise?
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes.
That might be. Well, it depends. Are you going to show up or not? That might be the deciding factor.
I don't care. I'm like, Chad, dude, I'm in. Whatever Matt Frost is doing, I'm for it. Like, man, let's go.
And it will be epic also, like, from all of the other stuff. If you're watching this and you haven't been on Rocky Mountain Race Week or Race Week, and you don't know about the rookies and all of the different other
Wicked
awards
Chicks, all
we
the good
give
stuff,
out. Yeah, like we'll be doing 2 Wicked Chick sets of Wicked Chick awards, right? There will be doubles,
of rookies, 2 sets of young guns.
Yes. All of that will be a big, big deal. And this year in 2024, I know that I already have some big changes planned for Wicked Chick. I know Adam does as well, for rookies and young guns. That it will only be every single thing we do will be amplified to go along with this in 2025. Like, it'll be crazy.
Matt, have you told us payouts?
I haven't. Are you ready for that?
I am.
Okay, let's go. Okay, so your normal race week, Rocky Mountain Race Week and Race Week averages, those payouts are going to stay the same. But hold on to your pants. So here's what we're going to do. The FAF, I'll keep it kind of clean on here. FAF is going to pay out $15,000 for the winner of that.
So that's going to be the quickest 16 cars on the property.
Right.
Which with that many cars, like, there's going to be some hitters.
Oh yeah.
Oh well, here let me back up for a second here. There's some things with that. So we are probably, I'm working really hard on these guys, and I've had phone calls with them. Possibly going to see Doug Klein back.
Oh,
Larry Larson
I would love
is
to
going to
see Doug.
probably be back.
Yes.
Tina is definitely. They
Tina.
promised they would be there. Tina
Yep.
Pierce,
That's
and
awesome.
Tina Pierce's husband, and then Joe Barry. I'm pushing on him to come back, and Royce should have probably his new car ready to go by then. So we're gonna have some of those guys there, and then I've talked with Doug. We've kind of Doug promotion, and we've talked about this. We're probably gonna do a hand-picked 25 for each. So that'll be a next 50 cars that are handpicked of the biggest, baddest if they want to come and play. So
Wow.
we're going to
Kevin,
add a
yeah,
little bit
nice.
of excitement to that.
So
That's
invitation. That's awesome.
Yes. Yes.
I can't wait. Can we do it
okay,
next
so-
week?
Yeah, I know. So your BMF, which is your, go ahead, Adam. That's your,
Bad mother.
well, I
Bad
know,
Mo's
but they're what? You got your quick 8 or your
Oh, it's the same.
fastest 8.
BMF. It'll be the next quickest 16 cars, so it'll be 33 to 63. Is that
Yep.
right? No, 33 to 40. Whatever. The next
Yeah.
16 cars.
And that will pay out 5,000.
That's awesome.
And then quick 16 is going to be 4,000.
So that'll be actually 32.
I bumped Rowdy Radial up to 3,000,
Wait, how much is Q16?
4,000.
Okay.
And then
And then
Rowdy
Rowdy?
Radio 3,000.
Okay.
And then the bracket race will be 5,000.
Gangster.
Exhibition. We kind of haven't done a very good job with this exhibition thing. And if we get more cars into the exhibition, I'll probably change this number. I'm going to pay that out at 500. So anybody who's listening, what exhibition is, and we kind of just kind of let it do its thing. The exhibition deal is if you break your car during the week and you get it back together and you get back there for the last day, we put you in the exhibition class. Now, that could be a 6-second car. I mean, historically,
Right.
it's been a fairly reasonably reliable car that's won that every time that we've had that happen. So you come back and you say, hey man, I broke my car, but I got it fired back up and I want to come into that class. If we get, let's say we get at least 10 cars in that class, I'll move that up to $1,000.
Cool.
That's awesome.
And
then-
these are all for the shootout.
Correct.
This is
The last
not
day
for the
shootout.
average. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
the
then
averages
you-
will be
and
the
then-
same, you said? So
They will.
same
So-
2,000 for unlimited, 1,000 for every other class
Yep. And then 7,500 in both A and B class for overall.
for quickest overall.
Yep.
Average. And then on
Average.
that last day, we lump everyone together. Like we were saying before, it's going to be about a 460 plus car. Well, plus we're going to have invitational spots. It could be a 480 or a 500 car bracket race field.
Yeah.
All lumped into one for $5,000, which, dude, I mean, is
That's big money.
on
Yeah.
big dollar bracket race type stuff. You just got to,
Right.
street drive your jump. No electronics for those of you that are thinking about that. I know. But guys, so yeah, I mean, a 480, 500 car bracket race, and then the quickest 64 cars shooting it out in really, I mean, probably the quickest 75 cars, including Rowdy Radial, duking it out in 4 different classes.
Right.
And huge bucks, man. This is going to be sick.
Yeah. And then I want to
like-
do something. We need to scramble think about something for Junior Street, figure out how to put them into a competition at the shootout. I'm not sure if
Yeah.
we just do like a four,
We can bracket race them.
something like that, but just got to be
Yeah.
careful because we got to watch how much they break out. Oh, here's another thing that people probably don't. If you've never done our shootouts, right? So if you've never been there and you've never watched our shootouts, we do not put times on our shootout. We have no idea who went how fast. It's whoever
Nope.
gets to the finish line first. That's who wins it. Adam doesn't know how fast they're going, or did you? You didn't the last one. We shut everything off. Only win light.
Only at Great Bend because they have an app that
Right.
works independently of the timing
Timing
system.
system. Yeah,
But
that's right.
no, every other track, I had no idea what was happening with anything ever. So
Yeah, so it's still
just-
no
it's-
time.
It says no time on the screen, and there's dashes on the scoreboard. So the rules are what the rules are, and they say what they say, and they don't say what they don't say. read between the
So
lines.
you get the drift. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you have an 850 car and you make it into the shootout, and your 850 car
Then it's
can
whatever
run
it is.
49 a couple of times or whatever.
Yes.
Just, I'm saying what I'm not saying. Pay attention.
Yeah.
I know what
Yeah,
you said.
I'm
I'm picking up what you're putting down there. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I know there's a ton of questions that have come in. I've been marking those. We're going to answer those here shortly. I just wanted to get through all of that. Payouts. A lot of folks are asking how this is going to work for the tracks. Obviously, if there's like currently we have 8 hours at runtime in the afternoons for the A class or the early runners.
Yeah.
We'll have 8 hours for those as well. So they'll
Yeah.
Correct.
if you essentially take what we've been doing this long, what Matt and the team have been doing this long, it'll be the same. It's just different time frame.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, you are going to have an
basically,
overlap
all
of
of-
cars in the parking lot, but
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But
Yep.
basically,
That's the cool
all of
part.
us are going to be at the racetrack for 16 hours. You only need to be
Yeah,
there.
so you guys can figure it out.
Yep.
Right.
And I know there was
And we go ahead.
I was going to say, I know there were some people asking, hey, what about veteran status and things like that? I mean, that's going to come like first you got to get through this flurry of everything and track set and all that stuff. And then you can worry about, because essentially 2.0 would be signing up for the, 2.0 runtime.
Yes.
So you still
Yeah.
are going to keep your veteran status and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
So,
nothing
and
changes
the-
that way. You're going to sign up for race week just like you normally sign up for race week. You're going to sign up for Rocky Mountain Race
Right.
Week just like you normally sign up, and then it'll go off to public like it always has in both those groups. So it's not all going to be lumped into one. That's why we're doing A and B. You guys are going to be separated that way, so that way we have that controlled environment of how we've normally signed you guys up. So none of that'll change. You're not changing anything that way. It's just y'all getting put together at the track.
And don't worry about hotels, y'all, because the morning race type dudes are going to start their drive in the afternoon. They won't be staying in the same place that you're going to be staying, odds are. A few
Right.
people are going to stay behind and do their thing because they're going to, want to hang out and do whatever. But if you watch Drag Week and you watch any of these other ones, they run till 3 and they're done. They drive for the rest of the time. So
Right.
they will be in a different city than you. You will be racing till midnight and you'll be staying in that city. So
Right.
don't worry about hotels. Hotels are fine. If you're racing in that morning group and you're a normal race week / Rocky Mountain Race Week person, you need to pay attention though, because your hotels are going to change. The way that you're going to set up your race is going to change because racing in the morning and driving in the afternoon is a different set of skills. So
Right.
you're going to have to learn the like one and done kind of world.
Well, and what I might do if we can pull it off, and as everybody has to understand that this is continuing to evolve. This is just the beginning of it. If I can figure out a way to flop it somewhere in the middle where the day guys go to night and the night go to day, somewhere in the middle of it, so you get both of those experiences. I haven't laid that out yet, but that's something that I've been looking at because I think that'd be cool to switch that around for you.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too. I think it would be awesome to be able to flop it around. Jason Hurley is asking the question they're asking, will those of us that race both events keep our veteran status for both events?
Yeah,
and
2026.
Yeah, and
Yes,
Matt said
we
yes.
will-
And
work on that,
again,
yes.
2026 we'll worry about after this. Like we can work a few different angles with making sure that you get veteran status. Like if you're involved in this thing, we can kind of work it out for 26.
Right.
But don't worry about 26 and 24. Let's talk
No.
25.
Pat
Um,
Cook says switch it up after the drive / hangout day. And I like that.
Well, we
That's a
can't.
good idea.
Well, we can't do that because the hangout day is the day
Oh,
between
that's
the
right.
shootout
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the
yeah.
last day. So
That's
it's
right.
got to be in the middle somewhere in there. Which, with the way that these tracks are structured, we really don't need our drive days. So we can probably actually add that drive day in
Right.
there and use that as the flop. So you guys will have an extra day to hang out or whatever. And I'll get onto the tracks for you guys just so you know, like we're not throwing you into the smallest, tightest tracks. So Tulsa is going to be your start and stop track. We know that they can handle all of it. So
Love Tulsa.
Tulsa
Oh, yeah.
will be our start and stop. We will be at Ennis and we'll be at Thunder Valley. Thunder Valley might be a little bit tight, but they got plenty of room. You're just going to end up out there a little bit farther with that many cars. So we can make that happen. I mean, they do Armageddon. They got I think just as many cars for Armageddon with trailers and trucks and all that
Oh, yeah.
stuff. So we don't have that. I think we can make that work. I
Oh, yeah.
don't have the last track put in there yet because I'm
Come
still
on,
trying
dude.
to figure that out. Well, I haven't been to some of the places that I want to go, so I need to get my eyes in on it. And plus,
No. Sorry, Matt.
We
I'm
have-
not talking about you. I'm talking about Boo Quamza.
Yeah.
I'm not calling you.
well, whatever.
Boo.
Well, whatever.
like
I mean,
you
come on,
and
dude.
stuff,
I mean,
but you're not my boo. But
Yeah,
oh, I thought you said
Boo's
dude.
like,
I thought you
"Hey,
said.
I'm-
Yeah, that's what
hey,
you said,
Oh.
dude.
Can you
Hey,
do
Boo,
it
when
again?"
this is over, you can just rewind. Yeah.
I thought you said,
I
"Come on,
will-
dude."
Come on, Boo.
I will go to wherever you need me to go to look at whatever you need me to look at, Matt. You know.
Yep.
So
Well,
And
we're going to be.
I
I mean,
don't-
yeah, we have to do the drives for these our races for this year, and I
Yeah.
have one of those tracks in mind. But there's some stuff we haven't visited a couple of these tracks, so I want to just get our
Yeah.
eyes on it and make sure that it's going to be accommodating and that it's going to be able to handle what we're trying to throw at it. That's the only reason I don't have the other one.
and
Now,
if I
Right.
don't,
with that being,
I don't have a job right now, and
well,
I can be
Sure.
had.
and the other thing is with that too. With that being said, I really want to try hard to make sure that we probably get you guys the dates and the tracks and everything locked down within probably the next 2 months, so that you guys have. I mean, that's over a year for y'all to plan for this. So if
Yep.
you can't plan it out in over a year, then I don't know what to tell you.
Yep.
Right.
So Brian has a great question here. So will there only be one event for 2025?
yes,
That's correct. Yep.
And it'll be June time, right?
It will be in June. It'll be.
Correct.
I'm going to try to be roughly right about where we're at now. I think it'll be the week of the 23rd through the 28th is what I'm shooting for, right in that area for 2025.
And that's also another good point for you race week regulars. It'll be in June, so obviously you'll need to plan earlier, but you can plan on bringing your kids because your kids are out of school in June.
Correct.
So
yes,
plan on that. And also that gives you plenty of time if you have a 12-year-old at home and that you want to bring into Junior Street, you can get a license between now and then just
Correct.
to get yourself set up for this. And that's 13 to 16-year-olds. So keep that in mind if you've got some little S kickers at home.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. I'm going to say it. I'm really excited about this. Like,
I know, right?
because here's what's going to happen with this. We're going to have 632 cars show up on day one. It's going to take a full day to tech and do testing and stuff like that. And by the end of the week, Matt will want to strangle one of us all. One of the, or 7 of the 630 people that
Yeah.
are on site. But then 2 weeks after, he's going to be like, man, that was kind of fun. Maybe we
Yeah.
can do more than
How about we do
300
another
in
one?
a day. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well,
Why
you know,
is
that's
it
what's
that-
cool.
Why is it that the day after every Dragon Drive, you're like, man, when's the next one?
Oh, yeah.
Even though the
right.
day before
Well-
that, you were like, I want to kill myself, you know?
Well, let's face it. I mean, you have to go back to reality, and that's the part that sucks. Like you miss your friends and listening to the. I mean, you're waiting for the cars to fire up in the hotel parking lots when you're at home after it's all done. Like there's all
Yeah,
that stuff that you just do
Oh,
for
yeah.
a week, and it's
The
crazy
best
because
alarm clock that exists.
yes,
yeah.
I mean for your week really feels like it does honestly feel like you've been doing it for a month. It's just amazing how it changes the dynamics of how things go. And speaking of me and wanting to kill somebody, I think I've been very fortunate with what we've done and with the sponsors we've had and stuff. Like I've always been true to what I've always put into this. Like I've never I've never strayed away from how I felt like I should run my event, and it's been awesome with the sponsors we've had that I've been allowed to be able to do what I want to do and not have to deal with the repercussions of that. So that's awesome, and I think that that's there's some people that have gotten my wrath, I'm sure, and there's some people probably that I've rubbed the wrong way, but for the most part, I'll do anything for you, and I'm always there to take care of you. You just might get yelled at if you did something you weren't supposed to do. So,
And
that's just the red and beard.
Don't forget as well, motorcycles, dude. I mean,
Yes.
we have a motorcycle class. We're the only one. So if
Yep.
you've got a motorcycle, we have 2 different classes actually. So quickest motorcycle class, which is, I mean, obviously going to be, you got to be in the 8s and maybe even in the 7s to kind of play in that world. But there's also an average motorcycle class as well. So if you got a bagger, and there was a dude on a Harley bagger last year, that class is available as well. So guys, I mean, this is fully, if you go to the website, RockyMountainRaceweek.com, it's got all the classes on there Dude, the classes have like 6 rules. It is very they fit in where you can get in where you fit in. There's a place for you no matter what. If you race in another event, guaranteed you have a spot in this one. So start looking at that, start planning, and like Matt said, this is great because you have so much time to plan your stuff because you're gonna want to be there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I see a ton of people tagging Flying H. Do us a favor. Do Matt a favor, Matt and Adam and Chad, and send a message to Flying H and tell them you would love to see Rocky Mountain Race Week 2025 there. Send a message to Flying H. Like, if you don't think these guys have been talking to them, you're crazy. Like they've been, I bet Matt has been on Google Maps looking at every track within 300 miles of Tulsa.
Yeah.
So if you want to see it there, send a message to Flying H and tell them. So let them know.
Hopefully they'll hear the message from their fans and want us to be there.
Yeah.
Well, and one of the coolest things, you're talking about back in this part of I live in Northwest Arkansas. You guys being this close is going to be awesome. I mean, obviously I'm going to be there every day of this whole thing and will help however I need to, whatever you tell me to run a cable down the line, I'll do it. I don't care. Just to be in the middle of all this stuff. This is going to be really one of the coolest events we've ever seen.
It's going to be wild, dude. It's going to be wild. And like the goal of any one of these is, and again, you've got time. If you've got a car in the garage, it's time, baby. Start working on your shit right now. Start doing it.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and we're all super excited about this. I'm hoping, I can't read because I don't have my glasses on, but I'm hoping that the response is I hope that it doesn't stress guys out enough that they're going to want to steer away from it. I want them to be excited about this because this is we're making history with this. Like, this is going to be a history making event. So to be a part of that, I think, and for everybody that's been involved in it all these years and know what we do and what's expected, it's going to be good. I think it really is going to run way smoother than probably what you'll think. So,
yep. A couple questions here. Let's run through these real quick, Eric, if you don't mind. So we'll do the. John's asking, when does this still happen? Again, late June is kind of the tentative plan right now. And then how many tracks is this going to be? Typical 4 tracks, right? So you got the host.
4 tracks, 5 days.
5 days. Yeah. Well, it'll be 7 though.
7 days. Well, actually, no. It's going to be actually it'll be 8 days because let's say this. It'll be 7 to 8 days. If we do the flop and we do the drive day in between there to do the flop, that'll be out a day. And then we're also going to do our tech and our test and tune on its own day, which you guys are usually used to going into racing the same day we do tech. Obviously, with this many cars, that's a lot for us to handle. So we're going to do all that in one day. You can get your license runs that you need to get done and a test session all in that first day.
Yep. And then Keith Wells asking, if you come in for 2.0, will there be pit space available? Hopefully. Sure.
Yeah. And I mean, Keith, I think a ton of people, like I was saying earlier, a ton of people are going to do the one and done program. Mm-hmm. So that place will be, if you've ever seen Drag Week at 3:00, there's 30 cars typically. Yep. And they're getting their stuff switched over. They're not running anymore. They're done. Yep. So it's either broken, broken shit, or they're getting ready to leave. So it's gonna be fine.
Yep.
You guys are gonna have to do your part too. Like, it's not gonna be just easy. Roll in there, find a spot, you throw all your stuff out, yard sell it. Like, you're gonna have to spend a little more time than you normally would get into your spot. But that's kind of what this is about. You guys are gonna get to meet new people, different cars, experience something different. So you'll have to do your part to find your spot, but it'll be fine. You'll be fine. We're doing the tracks that we're doing for the most part to make sure that, Tulsa's huge. It's huge. Like, you can.
Oh yeah.
You'll never have to have a problem with being overcrowded in there. It's going to be a lot of cars in there, but you have plenty of room to keep moving out. And even the same thing, Thunder Valley is probably the tightest out of everything that we're doing. But there's so much room out there, and you're in the, you park in the damn grass anyway, so it ain't no different whether you're, 5 feet from the starting line or 120 feet out or whatever, 5 miles.
Right. Yeah, you have 3 cars. You just drove it 300 miles. Yeah. It'll drive another.
Yeah. 1,100 feet from the starting line. And
then Rich Guido, no yard sale.
Yeah, driveway garages. Are you splitting A group and B group up by time? Yes. Lay us into that.
Okay, so A and B group. So it's Rocky Mountain Race Week. Everybody that runs in Rocky Mountain Race Week will be your A group. Everybody who is in Race Week will be in your B group. So your 2.0. Okay, so let's back this up, make it easier. 1.0 will all run their own program, the same program you always do. You'll run that program, say, in the morning from 7 to 3. 2.0 will run their whole program the same way you always have done it. So you basically just forget that the other guys are there for the thought process of this, and you'll start that from 3 o'clock in the afternoon till 11. It's going to be all the same cars, unlimited all the way down to all the indexes for B group. So I don't want to do it to where you have all the fast cars run at this time and all the medium cars. No, you guys we're separating this out. So if I come as a spectator, I'm coming in there and I get to see in the morning, I get to see everything that I would normally see at 1.0. And if I stay there until the afternoon, I get to see everything I'd see at 2.0. Everything will be split until we get to the last day.
And so 1.0 cars and 2.0 cars will never be running down the racetrack at the same time, people.
Correct.
Not
They're
until the
completely
last
separate.
day.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
1.0 is done. You can't make another pass. See you later. Good luck. 2.0, we start right now.
Yes.
Yep.
I think that's going to be one of the coolest things for spectators to see, is because think about being a spectator at 10 a.m., right? You show up at 10 a.m., you wait in the half-mile long line to get in, you pay your entry fee, you get in there. There's 287 cars that you've watched go down the line. Well, you get you some lunch at the concession stand, you walk back out to the pits. Now, some of those cars have left and new cars are coming in for the afternoon.
Right.
Man.
And it's
Well,
it's
you're
obviously
So cool.
your ticket is going to cover you for
Yeah.
16 hours
Yeah.
Yes.
of freaking racing.
Yeah. It's gonna be
and you're not getting the one and done. You're not going to get to you're not going to be like, oh man, I didn't get off until 2:30 and I got there and all the one and done are already left.
3 cars.
Well,
Right.
you're not going to have to worry about that because the second group of the heavy hitters or whatever you want to call it, they're one and done, so haven't started yet. So here you go. You get to actually visit with them and see them while they're converting their cars over and getting ready to go for their session.
Totally. And then we do that for 4 days, and then we bring everyone together and we do one big ass shootout.
Right.
Yep.
And Mike
Everyone
Dingy
versus everyone. It's gonna
Mike
be
Dingy's
freaking
asking
dangerous.
about camping at racetracks. It's the same as always, dude. Camp any night you want. We don't care.
I think what we'll do on that is we'll probably send out once we get all this dialed in, once we do sign up and all this stuff, I'll probably actually have you guys, and I got this I was listening to Michael talk about this on his deal where he has them send him an email letting him know how many people are actually going to camp at those tracks. Right. Which it's a really good idea because then that kind of gives us an idea to let the tracks know how many people they're going to expect to be there overnight.
Exactly. Some Facebook user, because you don't have a real username, is asking about rain delays or oil down. How's time going to work for that? The same as it would at any other race.
As every
other.
Right.
If it's delayed, it's delayed. We figure it out. It's not a thing.
Honestly, like if a couple of times we've gone till like midnight for some really late stuff, but like to be 100% honest with you, the track staff is like pissed off that we're going till midnight. So whatever, no big deal. It's just it is what it is.
Right. Push everything back. Everything will push back. If it ends up happening in the A group or 1.0 group, then it pushes everything a little bit to the second group. I mean, it's just we pray that doesn't happen. Everything's usually pretty good. Knock on wood. That's part of the reason why we pick the months that we do. Yeah, it's hot as hell, but as far as the weather goes, it's usually the better time to do it. So.
Yep.
Red Hat Scotty was asking about road weekers. Are they an A and B also?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So you get to sign up whichever one you want to be on. Yep.
And I think with Road Week, it's what's the beauty of Road Week is you can decide to go in the morning one day and you can go in the afternoon another day.
You can roll. You can roll whenever you want, but we want to keep that separated so you still have your own awards for each of those groups and all that stuff.
Totally.
So it gives you guys more options to be able to be highlighted in the show.
Yeah, but remember, don't feel like, man, I really want to see night racing, so I'm going to sign up for 2.0. Don't worry about it. You can sign up for whichever one you want and stay as long as you like.
That's right.
But remember, if we have time to let road weekers make passes on the racetrack, which we typically do, that's probably going to be that you'd have to run in your group. So keep that in mind.
That's correct.
Correct.
Yep.
What's the last question there you had, Eric? Here it is. Until the shootout, then it's mixed.
Correct. The
So
shootout is
the
all one.
shootouts will be mixed. Yes.
And then is it 1 versus 2? I think the shootout
Link
is
all
independent.
together. It's everybody versus everybody.
Yeah, the average is what puts you in your place, not or your fastest time per
Right.
se. That's what it's not separated. It's going to go. All those will be put in together, and then Adam will say, "Okay, this is the list of the top fast cars from both groups."
And that's
in there.
what's
Right.
going to be crazy with that is that a dude in 2.0 is also going to need to watch results from 1.0 to
Correct.
see what the hell is going on, because there's going to be all of a sudden 16 or 18 or 20 new cars. I mean, it's the quickest 16. I mean, so if 1.0 has got all the quick cars and you're in 2.0 and you think you're like King Dingaling, and then all of a sudden
You're
1.0
not.
shows up with 10 cars, guess what? You're number 11. Like, good luck.
Right. And that's it. I mean, you could have 12 from 2.0 and only, 4 from 1.0 or vice versa.
Either way. Yeah.
Yeah,
The quickest,
exactly.
The quickest. It is what it
Yep.
is. And then, you could be, again, King Dingaling and think you're in the FAF and you're going to be racing for the huge money. And guess what? 1.0 brought over 24 cars and you're in the BMF. Sorry, man. I mean, it is what it is.
Yes, Clint can too. Yes is the answer to your question.
And June's live spreadsheet is going to be still working as well. So yes, near real time updates. As soon as someone turns a slip in, it will be updated on that Google Drive. So yes, that is definitely the deal.
Yeah. So the Facebook user here again asking if they can use a fast pass in the 2.0 racing if they are a 1.0 racer.
Nope.
Because you have to think of it as two completely different races.
Right.
Totally.
Yeah.
And there may or may not be fast passes on this one.
We'll have to really think that out.
Yeah, I think we're going to have so many people that may not be an option for you. So keep that in mind as well. So if you are like a 1.0 person and you sleep in and go to Waffle House and don't show up till 10, you may not end up with a decent pass by the time it's time to go. And or if you're a 2.0 kind of person and you don't show up to the racetrack until 10 and make your first pass, you need to make a good pass. So pay attention.
Yeah. Yeah, don't be this is just in general at Dragon Drives. Don't be the dick that like comes and goes, "Oh, it's a little warm right now. I think I'm going to wait until later." And then later it rains and then you come bitching and moaning because you're like, "I didn't make a pass." Well, you've been here for 5 hours, you prick.
Like
So,
Ennis, then Doug Cook crashes his car and we're down for 3 hours cleaning that
yes.
up.
Exactly.
It is what
So,
it is. But
You gotta call
I'm being nice because Matt's trying to be all pro tonight, but those kinds of things happen. So make a hit to make sure you made a run.
At least
and
one.
then wait.
One. Yes.
And then wait. If you want to wait for prime conditions, do that. But get a run in, or else you could bite you.
Hey, listen, I almost had that happen. We were at Texas Motorplex the first year. I was in the cart, and it was when Doug put it in the wall there, and we skipped the track, went to the hotel because it was so hot, needed a little bit of AC for a little while. Come back, Doug puts it in the wall. I'm telling you, there was like 40 people behind me. We were all nervous we weren't going to get a pass.
So I'm here to tell you, Mr. Narks, that's rookie shit.
It was, dude.
That's okay. But that's okay because you learn.
Oh yeah,
Because you learn.
Well, and that's the hardest decision for somebody like me to make too. Like for me to have to call, I think we've only had to call the lanes one time, and I had to call them, and there was cars in the lanes, and I know there was cars that didn't make a pass. It's a sucky position to be in my position and have to do that. But there are some times, if something's not safe or this or that, there's been times we've had to make those calls, and unfortunately, that's my job, and it's not something I like to do. I mean, that's one thing. I take all of this stuff serious, and I'm working for you. I'm basically working for you guys. This is your race. I'm there facilitating it. I'm doing everything I can to give you the best facility to run. I mean, we can't ever. the one thing people don't understand is there's a lot of times, the track surface, this or that. Listen, we can't control that with the temperatures. Neither can the track a lot of the times. And that guy that's next to you, he's having to try to fight to get down that track just the same as you are. So it comes down to tuning your car for the track.
Right.
So those are the kind of things that we deal with.
This cat has a car that'll run with any of your cars. Whoever you are, he's got a car that will run with your car. So he
Well, and how many times have you watched me? I get down the track. I've got down tracks that none of the fast guys could get down. I mean, there's some video out there. 1320 has got a thing on top of my car at Great Bend, and it was 100+ degrees outside, so it was like 150 on the track. I still blew a 7-second pass down through there, and you can see me pedaling the car all the way down through there, and I got it done. And that's just part of what this is.
So just know when he has to make that call and when he has to make that move, like
he's making it as a racer.
Right, as a racer, he's got a dude with a car that will compete at the highest levels of this stuff. So just know that he's doing that with your best interest at heart, because your best interest would be his best interest.
I just want to give a shout out to Waffle House.
Yes, I am all in on the Waffle House All-Star Race team, dude. Yes, Giddy Up is right.
That is right.
Waffle House for the win, baby.
So, Matt, run through one more time all the payouts.
Okay, so the FAF, which is your fastest cars, how many? That's 8.
And it'll be 16.
Be 16 cars.
8 from 8 from each theoretically, but quickest 16.
Okay. So quick, that'll be $15,000 on that. The payout will be on that, and then you got the BMF. That's $5,000 to pay out.
That'll be another 16, so it'll be 17 through 32.
Okay, and then your quick 16 actually be 16 then?
I think it's 32.
It's 32. So let me change. So it'll be quick 32. Yeah.
Okay. If we're doubling everything, then it's 32. So then it's 33 through 64 quickest car.
Okay. So I
got you. I was still thinking it would only be the same number. It's just getting pulled from both things. Okay.
Well, I like this. I like this better.
Okay.
So that's going to be 4,000. Rowdy Radial will be 3,000. Bracket race will be 5,000, and then exhibition will be 500 at this point.
Hell yes. So again, the bracket race is going to be whatever we're going to have. It's probably 600 plus this 50. We might have 700 cars. Minus 64 is going to be a 620 possibly car bracket race. That is going to be gangster.
So somebody asked earlier, is that possible to get that done? And
in the time,
for those of you that don't pay attention, I live stream giant bracket races all the time. So
it'll be all day deal. We're not going to start at noon. We'll be starting first thing in the morning.
Right.
And we won't give you, and one thing that the bracket races are going to have to understand is you're not going to get that test pass. You're already going to get, you'll have your data from the first day from your test.
Yes.
You'll not get a test pass on the last day.
Right.
It's going to go straight into it.
There will be no buybacks at a normal bracket race. Everybody's getting a time run, and then there's buybacks after round 1, which adds another round to get into round 2. We won't have any of that. So yes, it's doable to finish.
And what's going to be very cool for you bracket race people is we're going to do the same exact thing. You're going to get a pro tree all week, and then you get a full tree on that first round. So, good luck.
What's the payout for bracket again?
5,000.
That's a dick move, but I like it.
It's a total dick move.
Way meaner than I am.
But that's what we're going to do.
Now, also remember, everybody, it's a $2,000 to win unlimited and $1,000 for all the other classes
in each of the races.
Yeah, in both events, and $7,500 to the quickest average in both events. So there is. So somebody could conceivably, let's say that unlimited was the quickest average, which has not been the case. Let me say in recent years.
Lately,
but let's say it was. So $9,500, and that's before they even go into the shootout day.
Right. So you have the potential to win $9,500 plus $15K.
Right.
If you win the shootout plus unlimited plus
Yes.
the quickest average.
That's $11 million. I don't know.
Yeah,
what is that?
$24,500
$24,500.
billion.
Yeah, that's $24,500 ish, something like that.
And
yeah, that's real big money,
Liz,
bracket race money.
Liz, we will do breaking the beams as well. You're not totally required to do the bracket race. We're not going to like force you to bracket race if you don't want to. So we'll have a chance for you to break the beams. No problem. You can put your stuff in the trailer and come watch racing. We're totally cool with that. 100%.
Yes.
Junior Street's going to be the same as before, I believe. They don't really need to sign up. I think if we could get 30 Junior Street racers, we would take 30 Junior Street racers. Like, we'll take as many as that will show up. I mean,
100%.
Giddy up. Bring Junior Street racers. Absolutely. And if you're just now tuning in, if this is your very first time watching this, Junior Street does not need to fight for a spot. When registration and stuff comes up and you have a Junior Street racer and you want to bring yourself, you sign up for you. Great. Love it. But later, contact Matt or June, and they will get your Junior Street racer signed up. However, this year is going to be very imperative that you have all your licensing crap ready, because we're not going to have all the time to do all of that. So
that is
make sure you get all of your NHRA licenses for you. Junior Street is another NHRA license. Your local NHRA track can help you with that. No problem. But make sure you have all of your poop in a group, because there's going to be a lot of moving pieces with this. And if you haven't seen our crew, it's ragtag, rock'em sock'em, and we're not Motor Trend. We are talking about Race Week, and that's
with that said, if it would behoove people to have some track rental days where they could come out as a group to get licensing runs done, and that would help you guys. If enough people reach out to me, I would be happy to help organize an event or two like that, where we would do a track rental, perhaps in the morning of an event that's already happening or something like that in one of the Texas-Oklahoma racetracks, or something along those lines. Also, remember, chassis certs. Get your chassis certifications done. They're cheap. They're easy. If you and a bunch of buddies have them, you can all get them done at the same time for cheap.
We'll work on that too. I think as big as this is, and we're going to have that first day, we'll try to see if we can get a chassis guy to show up for that. I think with as big as this is, guys should be able to make enough money to show up and do chassis certs if they need be.
And yes, IHRA always works for everything we're doing. Yes, 100%.
Yes.
Real quick for Michael Baker, veteran registration stays the same that it always has. So 1.0 will get early, 2.0 will get early. All the racers from 2024 events that are racing this year right now will get early registration opportunities for this hugest, most largest Drag and Drive World Series of Drag and Drive event 2025.
Dare we say?
The World Series of Drag and Drives. Why not? Why does somebody own that yet? I mean,
no, but someone else does the Super Bowl. So, it's a.
Oh, I don't care. The Super Bowl is the one that's baseball, right? And World Series is the one that's football. Which one is that? I don't know.
Yeah,
I only speak car racing. I don't speak the baseball, bat, football.
What you're saying is like this is the OG million of bracket racing.
Yeah, exactly.
This is Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Yeah, this is
of Drag and Drive.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome.
So, how many questions out there? Any other questions from you guys? What do you think? Lay it on us. We're looking forward to this. This is going to be so much fun. Like, guys, are you kidding me? How are you not?
And everything,
crapping your pants?
Everything will lay out. Everything will lay out. Like, if we change stuff, it'll, from what you're normally used to, it'll be put out there. It'll be broadcasted. So we're not trying to change a bunch of things. Like I said, maybe not being able to do the quick pass or the get out of jail free, pass and stuff like that. That stuff. Some things might have to change to alter it, but don't sweat a lot of that stuff. I think. We've always made it work. You guys just show up. You're going to have a good time. It's going to be fun. It's going to be crazy. And it's going to be a big ass party on the day before the shootout. I want that to just.
Oh, it's going to be insane.
Knock your socks off.
Amanda, no need to double the miles, but you're going to be at the racetrack for 16 hours. So good luck with that. Sharon, yes, the checkpoint and routes will be the same for both routes, but like I was mentioning before, the morning group is likely going to hit the road earlier, so it'll be 18 hours of people on checkpoints and routes as well. So it's
I
going to
didn't even
be
think about that.
it's going to be freaking epic.
Oh man, think about the small towns. You know, you're talking about Oklahoma and Texas and possibly Missouri if people will send Flying H an abundance of messages. Think about all of the small towns that run along those highways. Oh my gosh, they're not going to know what to do.
It's going to
500,
be nuts. It's going to be
600 plus
nuts.
cool cars coming through there, plus all the road weekers and stuff. Ooh,
Right.
it's gonna be-
Doug,
Oh, yeah.
we have no idea. We haven't. I mean, this is in 2026. We're talking. I mean,
No, 2020.
we don't
2025.
know. Yeah, we don't know which one we're doing, but we'll be doing either full days or half days and moving, and we'll figure it out. But Chad and I will be announcing the entirety. And
How many hot
all-
dogs per day? A ton of hot dogs.
All
I
the
have to buy them
All
by
the
the
hot
pallet.
dogs.
Yeah,
That's
All
right.
the hot dogs.
possibly a ton for real.
I already bought a commercial roller. I mean, it's huge. So I've already prepared for that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Michael Baker, that's a lot of trailer burnouts. There's going to be some
Yeah.
roads that will be black for several years.
Yes,
Or
exactly.
just sealing for free. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Local
Yeah.
city council.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you need to, above all else, you need to make sure that you are paying attention to RockyMountainRaceweek.com and that you follow the Rocky Mountain Race Week Facebook page. If you have been on any of them previously, you also need to join RMRWers, okay? And that way you will get all of the Facebook information and you will see all the updates on the website. That is how you guys can stay up to date on all of these things. Obviously, there will be more podcasts, there will be more announcements, there will be more of all of those things, but pay attention by making sure that you follow all of the socials for Rocky
Totally.
Mountain Race Week.
And that's one of the things, if you haven't been on a Rocky Mountain Race Week and you haven't seen this kind of happen, the beauty of this franchise is how nimble it is.
Yep.
Matt and June can make a change like days or hours prior to something, and it's a hit. It works perfectly. So just know that, like, it may not be exactly 100% how we're saying, because again, it's 2 years. Like, sometimes shit happens and racetracks close and things happen, you know, whatever. But like, we're nimble, and like Matt put on that 2020 2.0 event in like 3 weeks. So
Yeah.
like, just don't forget that. So yes, things may
We'll make
change.
shit happen.
Yeah, just stay flexible.
What he said.
Right, stay flexible because things will change, but it's gonna happen. Like, you're gonna be racing and it's gonna be gangster.
Yeah.
Just talking about PA systems needing to work. with
You're
any
worried.
kind of-
You're sweating this. They're sweating small stuff. Like, there's things that will
Yeah.
happen. We can
We'll
do
be
things
good.
where we can put a person that's in charge of a group, and we can do one text to them. We can do phone text
Yeah.
out. Like, there's lots of things. That's all stuff that'll be worked out and ironed out. We understand that there's those kind of dynamics that are going to be a problem. Like, I promise
But-
you, we were thinking about these things.
Oh, yeah.
And
That's
again,
not a
you're thinking
problem.
about this part 2 years in the future. Like,
Yeah.
don't worry about that. We're going to have it handled. Promise you.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
Michael Tooley, you do get veteran status, but we are accepting sponsors.
Yeah.
He has to drive the smart car the entire time.
Do you have the key truck working? What is that thing called?
No, I'm not. No, I've retired that stupid thing. It doesn't go
Do
fast
you need me to
enough,
put
so-
rings in it?
I like it
I'm
though.
getting
Does
fast.
it not? How fast will it go?
Well, I thought it would go faster, but when it starts like that, there's a headwind or it goes uphill. It's
Yeah.
not good.
Oh man, I love that thing.
Oh man.
I'll give you $5 for it.
I
Okay,
think it's already-
$7.50.
It might actually end up back. I don't own it anymore, but it might end up back at the track, probably with maybe a turbo and stuff on it. So
Oh, nice. Okay.
Well, I can tell you.
Because what
I can
could
tell you
possibly
with
go wrong?
confidence that Chad and I are now proficient on installing a wet nitrous shot on a Pontiac Aztec. In case you're curious,
100%.
so we can do some crap like that.
And
cool.
and in like, I don't know, what did it take us? Like an hour and a half while
About that.
BSing and perhaps drinking golden adult beverages at the same time?
I mean,
don't
just
know.
yeah,
Maybe.
amazing. Anyway,
Yeah. Can't talk about that. It's a secret project.
yet
Yeah. Okay.
Watch
Other
What else?
questions from the peanut gallery? Anybody else out there have anything? What are we looking at here? Big thanks.
This one was a good one. If we sign up for A, then find out our favorite announcer is on B, can we switch?
No,
No,
nope.
because the chances
And-
are your announcer.
But I love it, Doug DeLay. Thank you very much, dude. I love you for that. Though.
Odds are good that your announcers will switch. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
This will actually.
We've
be
heard
kinda
about
cool.
those announcers switching teams.
Yeah.
That was so teed up. I was waiting for one of you to take a swing at that one. Yeah.
This actually should
No.
be pretty sweet for folks that get sick and tired of hearing my voice all week. They'll get some Chad, and then you get to realize like what a
That's
actual
not good
announcer
either.
sounds
Yeah.
like. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be good.
Yeah. We're going to
It's
be
super
like,
good.
you poor bastards. You have to listen to us for a whole week.
You idiots.
Yeah. Be careful
When
what you
will we be
wish for.
talking about sponsors timelines? I mean, you can get with June and you can start locking that in now. I mean,
Yeah.
we can start working on that now. And here's the thing, like if we get enough, if we have enough support behind this and somebody wants to be like, hey, I want to throw a little extra money as a sponsor towards the bracket race or whatever. I tell you guys, I'm about the racer. So if we build those pots up a little bit more, I mean, I'm for that. We have to make sure that we cover our normal bases. And then once we get to that point, I'm totally down for any of that kind of stuff.
Yep. And Bob Rupel is really worried about racing at night. He's a 1.0 guy and he really wants to race at night. Bob, we're kicking around the chance to scoot people around a little bit. But don't, I mean, it is what it is. Don't sweat that small stuff. Like we know that you like the winter mint green Nova at night because it looks just so pretty. But we're going to work that out.
Amanda Martin has the best comment. Instead of just Dorey mispronouncing your name all week, you get Chad to do it too. Oh my God. You have no idea how I will purposefully mispronounce your name because Dorey has been doing it just for the sheer joy.
And the best part is that I
Oh my
have Chad's
God.
number. I can tell him who I'm
Yes.
listening with. So
exactly. Oh my
Talk
God,
shit
that's
more.
so priceless.
Talk some more
Amanda,
shit.
that is the best comment of the night so far right there. Oh, Jesus.
God.
Oh, that's so great. Stick shift shootout. Rich Guido. I mean, come on. We got to have a stick shift shootout, right?
Do we? I mean, we have a
You
stick
get the
shift
money to
class.
back it and let's do it.
Yeah.
Get the money to back it and let's do it.
Okay. And I did just learn how to say your name, Mr. Bordelais.
Wait a second. What did you call him before?
Bordellis.
Oh my God. Where are
Shut
you from?
I'm not French. Well, I am
Jesus.
French. Dorey's French.
Yeah. Well, okay. So again, drink up. Yeah. Oh God. Oh, Wickham,
So-
if you were there, I would call you all the names. There'd be a different name every day.
Wickham will never come to one of these. He ain't got them.
Yeah. I'll be working on his junk the whole time.
Yeah, exactly.
So why
Can you fix
we're
the
down?
Volvo?
Why there's a little downtime? I talked to Michael about this, and I'm sure you're probably like, great, he's going to put me on the spot. But we had a conversation about, and it sounds like he's going to work on doing this, of doing some sort of drag and drive Hall of Fame type situation, because I think it's time. Like there's so many people that have done many great things with this. I think it's time for something like that to happen. And how cool would that be with this many events going on and this many people being involved? It's time to start recognizing some of these guys that have been doing this for a lot of years and doing what they've done with it. So.
Oh yeah. And I told you, like, Narks, the first year you started doing points and doing the awards, I actually was starting to do that, but you started jamming with it. And I was like, go on with your bad self. I wanted to do the Academy Awards of Drag and Drive, if you will. And then you did it. But yeah, I think
the Academy Awards sounds like a really fun thing. Maybe that's Eric. That's what we need to rename the awards we do at PRI. It's
there you go.
Drag and Drive. I love
yeah,
that.
I'm in.
That's
I'm in.
And
I
you
wanna help
guys,
any way I can.
whoever's nominated has got to wear a ballroom dress at PRI to accept their award.
Some of
Or
these
at
guys
least a
probably
tuxedo.
already do. Just
Well,
saying.
you know.
Tuxedo.
Yeah. A tuxedo T-shirt is okay, right? Under
I'm
my
in.
hoodie.
There we
Let's
go.
go.
Yeah, I'm about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't
Let's
have any
go.
other apparel anymore. It's hoodies and car t-shirts.
Dude, Adam and I were at Tucson Dragway with a group of people doing the thing where the nitrous happened in the thing. And they provided sweatshirts that were regular ones with no hood and no pouch. And I literally reached for my pouch like 755
Every
times.
time. It's
Yeah, and
terrible.
I went, I don't care what you do for next year, but you got to do. And the woman was like, no, we don't do hoodies.
This is
Hoodies are
what we
horrible.
do.
I said, then send me the logo and I'll have my own hoodie made
Yeah.
because I ain't wearing none of these
because
ever
this
again.
is some junk.
And she was like, I'll bring an iron-on patch for you next time. I was
Right.
Yes.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. What
I
to
don't
do
even
with my
know.
hands if I don't have. If I don't have.
didn't
a
know
hoodie.
where to look for the lost tools if I didn't look in my pouch. I mean, that's where they're all at. Like,
Right.
Yeah, and a soda
Um,
and my keys and
Speaking of, that's a great segue. Recap on merch. There will be pre-buy merch 100% on the website. So pay attention, because if you're going to be at a racetrack and you want to guarantee that you have a shirt available for you or a hoodie available for you, there will be a pre-buy.
Yeah, pre-orders is going to be huge for this.
Yeah, we'll also
Yeah.
have the ability to ship shirts, but we're not going to do that until after the event. So if you show up and you pre-buy something, bang, we can have that stuff. So make sure you pre-buy everything you need, because honestly, we're not making that stuff until after. And we want to make sure that we make enough for all the racers, and we may have enough for people that are going to show up. So make sure you do that. It'll do us a solid. A lot of this is going to be a lot of give and take. Like, really it is, because it's going to be big. So we need you guys, and you've heard me say it before, like, you guys need to be tight, and we're going to be tight, and we are going to have the coolest week ever.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this ought to be pretty wild. To give the person that asked him to go a quick recap, Matt's going to host the biggest, largest, most hugest drag and drive in all of drag and drive history. 600 plus cars, combining 1.0 and 2.0 in the year 2025, and it's going to be crazy to celebrate the
2026. Oh, no, it is 5.
2025.
2025.
My bad.
Adam keeps trying to make it 2026. It's 2025.
Yeah. So yeah.
Where's Adam? Why isn't he here this week? Because he'll be here next year. Don't worry about it.
I'm in for next year. Let's go.
Yeah.
Huge payouts, racing 400 car bracket race on the final day. This thing's going to be pretty intense.
16 hours of drag racing every day.
Andrew, I don't think that'll be a problem at all.
You've
really
done
don't.
Drag Week, dude.
Yep.
One and dones are rampant.
That's not going to be a problem.
Yeah, if you've been there at 3:00, there's not very many. There's 20 or 30 cars.
No, and the logistics of this whole thing are still fluid. I mean, who knows? We may go draw a line right down the middle of the pits at Tulsa Raceway Park and go A is on the left and B is on the right. You never know.
No way. We're mixing it up. They got to commingle.
Oh, there you go.
If Ryan Hargett doesn't show up to this, I'll personally punch him in the wiener.
You're going to get banned again.
And
You're going to get banned again.
Yeah, that's the third time you got beat up on camera.
Wait. Hold on. You can get banned for saying you're going to punch somebody in the wiener. You have the wrong settings on your channel, because I say way worse than that all the time.
He did it on Facebook.
Yeah, I typed it out.
Oh, Facebook. Well, come on. I mean, that's fighting words. They call that fighting words on Facebook. You can kick off anything for that.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yep.
Will the Golden Barbies make a comeback? That would be so epic. I love.
But I don't. It's 1 year thing. I don't know. I know. Like, you've got the only wallet. I don't know.
I don't know, though. Like an actual modified, actual, true, legit wallet might be pretty cool.
That's true. Hold on. I love that Andy Spite says, looks like I'm going to have to fast track my build for the 2025 event. Only a car guy goes, yeah, year and a half. Let's fast tracking my car build. I mean, you're right, though. Because I could build anything in a week.
Not wrong.
I know. I agree. But it's hilarious.
And Ed Hohenberg's asking about the Chill Boys. I guarantee they're going to be a part of this. Guarantee.
Oh, dude, come on. Those guys aren't going to know what to do with themselves. They're going to have to clone themselves so they're Chill Boys.
It's going to be crazy. And if you guys haven't seen, I've had them on the show, and the story for them showing up to race week the first time, It's epic.
Oh,
Like,
it's
dude
amazing.
walked for like miles and miles and miles in the dark to get picked up to come give out Nerds gummies. It was fantastic.
Yeah, it was. Oh,
It was
God, help us
fantastic.
all.
Yeah, this is
So-
going to be pretty wild.
Other questions? Anybody out there got anything else you want to know? I mean, this is wild. This is going to be awesome.
I just want to say thank you, Matt, for continuing to push the limit, like, and
Yeah.
think
Thanks.
of
I mean-
crazy things. I mean, seriously, like, and thank you for, you know, allowing us to be part of this. Like, you know, we've had these conversations, and I hope everybody that's at home understands this. Like, you know, I do a lot of events with a lot of people, but this event is really special to me. Like, this is, you know, this isn't just an event I cover. I feel like, you know, at some level there's ownership in this. Like, this belongs to all of us. It's not like an event you attend. It's an event you are part of. And that's the difference here. And so it really does matter. And I know we all are fortunate enough to luckily have our own small part in this thing, and it's cool, and we appreciate it for sure, dude. So thank you.
Well, I appreciate it. And that's why I look at it too. We're all, you know, there's been a lot of times I've been tired, and you know, I mean, people don't understand when I explain this as a lifestyle. This is a lifestyle. What we do as a family of racers, what we do as race promoters to put this on, it's a lifestyle. But in my feeling for it is, you know, that I truly do care about everybody that's there. Like, it's important to me with the world that we live in. You know, we're to the point where we live in a world where it's so upside down and everything's just a mess. This is one common ground that we all get to come to, and we all get to spend time, and we get to show these kids and our kids, and, you know, whether you're in your 20s or you're 12 or 10 or 11 years old, what life was when we were younger, and how that was to be, you know, going down these 2-lane roads and experiencing things. It slows life down a little bit and just kind of gives you that feel of humanity, is what I always like to say. And for me, it's important to me for us to do that. It may just be for a small time, for a little bit of a, you know, 1 week out of the year, but I think that's a huge impact, and it's a huge impact on the communities that we go through, and you know, that's why I do it. I've always said that, and I'll keep saying it. We do it for you guys, and we do it for the family feel of it. You know, if it was just another run of the mill thing, we'd have moved on already and went and did something else, because it takes my time away from work. It takes my vacation time. It takes my race time, you know, and your guys' too. Like, every one of you guys that are on the other side of this deal, it's all a little, in a certain sense, it's a sacrifice of our racing side of things. And
yeah, June had to quit her job. Like, she had to do this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because it's just so much. It is.
Yeah.
And so we do it, you know, there's haters out there, and there's people that, you know, don't like me for this or that, or don't like our event or whatever, but most of them don't understand what this event is and what it means to us and what we put into it. And I thank every one of y'all for what you guys have brought to the table for this, because there's no way, like, over the years, how we've grown and how this has become a great deal, it all reflects off of what we all have put into it, and it's amazing. And you guys have all done your part to make it be where it is. You know, even with what Michael's done, I mean, it's awesome. I mean, I see you spit stuff out so fast, averages and stuff's there, and it's awesome to be able to see those things happen in real time the way they do. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I couldn't do shootout stuff without Mike Narks, because I'm driving and I don't have any ability to do anything. So I'm like, Mike, dude, I need a hand. And he's like, no problem, no questions, let's get it done. And he sends me and if it's not exactly what I'm looking for, I'm like, hey, this is really close, but I need this and this and this. And he's like, great. And then it's perfect. But I know he's like spending time. And dude, yeah, Narks, you're an asset to the community. You're an asset to Rocky Mountain Race.
Yeah, dude.
Week.
Seriously appreciate it.
Yeah, even behind the scenes, even though it's not like overtly, you're the real hero behind this whole deal. So
which you are too, Eric, because I know that you got to be behind him doing a bunch of shit that nobody gets to talk about either. So we don't want to leave you out in the dark over here in the corner.
No. And we know Eric is the one that pushes the buttons to make the things actually happen.
And Eric built all the artwork for us, like with nothing for this thing really quickly. And of course, Chad, you know, dude, bringing this to the world, to the millions. And you know, like I told you here this last week, like you were like a top tier auto dude for me. Like it was a wild thing to become a friend with you.
And then you
it's
met
super
me
cool.
and it went,
Yeah, I was like, that guy? No.
Well,
but
and
it's
the
been
thing
super
is too,
cool.
it has,
For
and,
sure.
and Chad went against the grain to do what he's done for us too,
Yep.
and
Yep.
he knows why I'm saying that. But
Yeah.
everybody's kind of went against the grain of, and it's all for the better. And Michael, we've talked about like I'm not here to pat myself on the back, but it's amazing what this has done and how far things have gone and where people's lives have changed because of this event. And that's just hands down, that's the truth. Like there are so many people that are in positions right now that I even am like in awe when I see what they've become, and it's all because of something that if we maybe not had this event, they might have ended up going down a different path, and we never would even know who they are. So it's just really cool to see what it's done, and the community overall. I was real hesitant when we seen all these events coming and going and doing what they're doing, and my biggest concern was for that is just because it's been like the no prep scene. It was real heavy for a long time. It got diluted and it died off. I don't think so though with this. I think we're gonna see a high and a low with it, but I think for the most part, the people that are out there doing these events and out there on the road, they get it. I mean, they really get what this is about. So
and dude,
I think it's here to stay.
Look at 2.0. I mean, Drag Week 2.0 and Redwood Rally are the same week, and I think all three events sold out.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, dude, and they're in different parts of the world, but I mean, there are going to be theoretically 6, 7, 850 people in 1 week doing the same thing.
Well, how do you not though? I mean, how do you not convert this over? Like, if you're a drag racer, right? Like, unless you're just, obviously, there's guys that just run dragsters and stuff like that, and that's cool. But if you're a door car guy, right, and you see all your buddies out there in seat time in their race car going down the highway, getting to see all these amazing things that they get to see. How do you not switch your car over and do something like this? Your family gets to go with you now. Like you get to go spend a week on the road with your family and your friends and your buddies. Like I don't see how you cannot do it.
In your hot rod that you've only spent 10 seconds at a time on a Saturday and a Sunday and then towed back and forth to the racetrack.
Well, and if you're watching this and you've never competed in a drag and drive before and you don't want to compete in a drag and drive, but you still want to be a part of it, remember, we have Road Week, okay? And we put together the Road Week program just so those of you that want to drive along, hang out with your family that are competing, or just be one of the cool kids who's out on the road, or like Adam says, you're like, man, I don't know, but let's go try it and see what it's really like. That's Road Week, and you get t-shirts and windshield banners and entry into the races and all the things, and it's awesome. And a lot of times we let you make a run down the racetrack.
And it ruins you. It'll ruin you just as bad because
100%.
Once you get in it, you're hooked.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yep.
Okay, well, I mean, what do you guys want to do? That's an hour and a half. We've been.
I think
we've said it all. Yeah.
I think we're styling. And you can watch this after the fact. You can watch it on all of our outlets. So you can see it on Drag Drive Repeat. You can see it on Bang Shift. You can see it on That's Cool Drink. You can see it on RMRWers. You can see it on Rocky Mountain Race Week. You name it. You can watch this on a billion different spots. And you can share this link from here until eternity for all your friends to start getting their crap ready for 2025, not 2026. See, it turns out.
And Mike and Eric, thank you for hosting this tonight too. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, and it's been flawless. Great job.
I want to say, I want to give a big shout out to Eric tonight. I don't know how many comments have come in tonight, but it's got to be at least 400 or 500 comments tonight.
Oh yeah!
Wow.
Just push the button on 99.98% of every one of those comments that has shown on the screen. Eric White has pushed that button.
He's this guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I definitely appreciate you guys very much.
Cool, Richard.
Thanks again for hosting us. It's great. Yeah, and Guido is going to get some Stick Shift Shootout sponsorship stuff. So, Rich, hit me up. I might be able to help you with some of that.
So future questions, hit those on the Rocky Mountain Race Week Facebook. Hit those on the Rocky Mountain Race Week Instagram. Hit that on RMRWers. And for a little bit less, I mean, you can you can message any of us, but most of us are just going to funnel you to Matthew E. Frost. But best case is on any of those 3 spots, and we can get all those questions answered for you in a forum, because odds are good if you have that question, somebody else has that question, so we can get it out there. It's all good. So ask questions, share this around. It's going to be super awesome, guys. We're going to be about 700 cars per day in 2 sessions. It's going to be styling.
It's going to be awesome. I mean, I can't wait.
Okay, y'all stay with us. Guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. I'm hitting the end button. We're good.
Thank you.
Awesome. Okay. That was